Afternoon, everyone. My name is Felicia Harris Williams, and I am the marketing partner with the African American Chamber of Commerce, and we are so excited that you could join us today. I would like to turn the program over to our illustrious president and CEO, Ms. Regina A. Harrison, who will bring opening remarks and introduce our presenter for today. Regina?
Good afternoon, and thank you, Felicia. Good afternoon, Chamber members and guests. Thank you for joining us today for the first part of our Power Up with PECO series. Today's seminar is part of the African American Chamber of Commerce's Business Empowerment Program with a collection of series designed to engage, enlighten, and empower Black businesses. We launched our business empowerment programming early this year to help Black business owners reimagine, reset, reinvest for a sustainable future. The focus of our program currently is to help small Black-owned businesses recover from the impacts of COVID-19 and build a sustainable infrastructure. Today's seminar, sponsored by PECO, will focus on ways you can save money through PECO solutions. Our presenter today is Mary Hall, PECO's Manager of Customer Experience. Mary, thank you for taking the time to be with us today and share this valuable information with our members. I would also like to thank Kia Branson Davis, PECO's Corporate Contributions Manager, along with our very own Vernice Lewis, member of AACC Board of Directors, and PECO Manager of Diverse Business Empowerment, for working diligently to ensure the Chamber's partnership with PECO is one that is beneficial to our members. So without further ado, I present Mary Hall, who will lead today's presentation. Mary.
Thank you very much, Regina, for that wonderful introduction. Very happy to be here today. Again, I'm Mary Hall. I am the Manager of Customer Experience at PECO, and this is such an exciting time for us to be meeting today. So if we could advance to the next slide. We're going to stay on this next slide for a little bit because I'm really excited to talk to you about our world-class customer experience. This is a vision, a new vision, customer experience, and an endeavor that has been years in the making. Research showed us that while PECO has always been focused on all of our customers, we had a high focus on our residential customers, and we also had a very high focus on our limited income customers, and we also had a focus on our large business customers, the hospitals, the universities. We realize the one segment that we have not paid the attention deserved is the small business customer. That has resulted in the launch of a strategy that is solely focused on the small business customer, and there are many facets to this. And I'm going to give you a little bit of background to tell you what some of that might look like and how it will benefit you. This is even bigger than, say, energy efficiency savings, although that's one part of it, but it's much more than that. It is a deep investment into the small business customer within our PECO territory, and actually within the Exelon territory. When we think about world-class customer experience, which is what we're striving for all of our customers, including you, we're talking about creating an experience that focuses on affordability, strong community value, innovation, value-driven growth, and clean and environmentally sustainable communities. This is a holistic approach, much more than we've done in the past. And with this small business focus, we actually have restructured part of the customer experience team so that we can provide to our small business customers, when needed, a focused approach, and depending on the size, a small business account manager. Now, this approach is unique in that we want to be proactive. So rather than waiting for you to call into the call center or call someone at PECO that you know because you might have a problem or an issue or a question, we want to be proactive. We will be reaching out to you, whether it's through phone, email, or some other method. It will be customized. So we're not taking a one size fits all approach. We're taking a strategic, customized approach so that we can answer the needs of our individual small business customers. Just as an aside, I spent probably about 8 years at PECO in commercial energy efficiency, managing a small business energy efficiency program. During those 8 years, I got to go out in the field and actually meet with a lot of our customers over time, mainly to look at the projects that we were doing for energy efficiency, or to answer questions that they had, or to, fix a little problem that may have cropped up. But what it taught me was that we have a vast amount of customers in our territory, small business customers, and we realize these customers have pretty much similar concerns as, say, a residential customer, but they also have the same types of concerns that a business customer might have, and that is where we talk about being customized and strategic. We will be offering products and services and that attention to you in a way that fits your business goals, not ours, but yours. That small business account manager could reach out to you, take a look at your account, answer your questions, and then hand pick some of the products and tools that we have, and I'll go over some of those later, but hand pick some of those products and tools that you could use to manage your business. And again, with your goals in mind. So it is strategic. One of the things we did was we looked at all of our small business customers, and I believe we have close to about 165,000 small business customers within our territory. We said, okay, let's take a look at how much demand they have, how much energy they use, what kind of spend do they have. And then we went a step further and we researched some of those businesses to see what's the scope of the business, potential scope, what's the size, what is the mission of the business. And in the last several months, our small business account manager has been not only doing presentations like this, but literally going out and meeting customers either virtually or in person using COVID-safe activities. But we would go out and talk to those business owners and find out, what did they need from us? One interesting exercise we did actually twice, and you may see some of this coming up over time, is we went out and we did a little videotape of some of our small business customers, and we asked them two questions. What did they expect from the utility, and what could we do to help them with their businesses? Well, we're looking towards long-term partnerships with these individuals, with these businesses. We're looking for ways that we can help them expand and grow their businesses. And this is something, I'll tell you something that will be coming up. You'll hear about it later. And I can't give you too many details, but it is a deep, deep investment in the community. We have just conducted very deep and intensive focus groups over the last several months, actually the last several weeks, where we specifically went into our underserved communities, meaning minority communities, for the small business sector. We brought them in virtually and asked them a series of questions, tried to understand what they were looking for, what they needed. But I will tell you, based on that and some other things that have happened over the last year, the company, PECO, it will be deeply invested in the small business community. And when I say deeply invested, I mean not just, asking you questions, but really investing the time and resources to help small business customers grow, and particularly in our African American community and other underserved communities. We can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so before I talk about about saving money, there are many ways that we can do that. I want to share some of the research that we found as we went out to talk to you. We did both primary and secondary research to understand what was important to our customers. And we think that we came away with a number of or bits of information that will help us to serve you better. Obviously, everyone is looking for reliable energy. Of course, that's a given. But we also found that our customers were looking for us to be trustworthy. They were looking for us to help them keep their energy prices down. They were looking for effective communication. One of the things I'll touch on right now is we have a number of digital tools that we are encouraging our small business customers and our residential customers, but specifically our small business customers, to engage with us in this way. About 6 months ago, I was speaking to a group and I was telling them, small businesses, about the PECO app that they could download onto their phone. Many were shocked. They didn't know anything about it. This app not only allows you to pay your bill from your phone, it allows you to, upon your approval, of course, to get alerts about storms. Let's say you are at your business one day, or you're away from your business, or you're at home, and a storm comes, and and unfortunately it happens. The power were to go out, the phone would alert you. So, you may not be at that location, but you could see what was going on and then give you an ETR, which we're constantly improving. Our small business customers also wanted us to provide excuse me, resources to help them manage their energy costs. We have a number of tools for that. That we are an environmental steward. So again, we talk about that investment in sustainable products and the environment. Offer a variety of programs and services, and to be active in the community. I think over the next few months, you'll also see, we've always been active in the community, but we want you to see us when we are there and to partner with our small business customers so that they can help us, help them, and help us, by investing in those companies, help us to reach some of our other customers, our residential customers. So we'll see some of that activity as well. We're going to stay on this slide, but I want to mention to you, we talk about energy savings, our small business energy efficiency program. This is a program that I managed for a number of years, and we had quite a number of small business owners take advantage of it. But one of the things is this program, prior to this current phase, which began on June 1st, was quite a tiny program. We work with the PUC to develop these programs under Act 129, and in the years that I managed it, it was just big enough for us to maybe reach about 1,000 or 1,500 customers in a 5-year phase. Today, that program is much, much larger, and not only is it larger in terms of the number of customers that we could reach, but it also offers more comprehensive measures that we can present to our customers to add to their places of business to reduce their energy costs. I wish I could see you now to ask how many people are familiar with this program, but if you're not, we're definitely going to get you much more familiar with it. This small business energy efficiency program allows our customers to engage in energy efficiency, either through lighting, through HVAC now in phase 5, so heating, air conditioning, through refrigeration measures, if you think about a commercial kitchen, or one you might find in a deli, or any of these types of businesses, electric hot water measures, and many others. The measures that are available today are much more expansive than they have been in the past. And not only that, we've taken an approach in part of the offering so that our customers we can make this very easy for our customers to engage in. So you literally could call into one of our 800 numbers, have someone do a quick assessment over the phone with you, and then come out to your place of business to walk through the property and make recommendations for what you could include in your facility to save money. We worked on so many projects and many minority-owned properties throughout our territory, and they were very exciting projects. And our customers began to save money, and we're thrilled about that. If we could go to the next slide, please. One of the other things that would be available is the ability to benchmark your building using an energy usage data tool. This allows our customers to pull all kinds of reports, depending on the size of your business that you would need this, or the size of the facility. It allows you to pull tons of reports so that you can benchmark your property's energy usage. You can take a detailed look at what you're spending and how you're spending it. And then you can be thinking of some of the tools that we have available. You know, one of the things that is important with energy is, you know, if it's the more top of mind it is, the more effective you can be in managing it. And these tools help keep that top of mind. In some of with some of our customers, particularly facilities with more than one building or a meter on the site, even small businesses, of course, right, will have that. They're able to use these tools, transfer these tools to, you know, their financial folks within their organizations, and really take a deep dive into what's happening with their property. And again, we've found that those customers who keep this kind of top of mind tend to be more efficient with their usage. If we could go to the next slide, please. Okay, so I want to talk to you about, we're just going to stay here for a second. So I wanted to talk to you about this, you know, account management strategy. I've talked to you about some of that and some of the tools, and we have a few more to talk to you about. But when we're able to segment our customers, you know, look at their usage and kind of categorize them based on the amount of demand, energy demand that they have, then we're able to kind of customize the approach and make the proper recommendations for them. One of the things I want to mention to you, which I'd be curious to know if anybody, and if we have time for Q&A, if anyone is familiar with the fact that we actually have a separate telephone path for our small business customers. So we have a group of customer service reps who respond specifically to small business customers in recognition of the fact that they have needs that are different, say, from a large facility, and they have needs that are different, if sometimes similar, but different than a residential customer. So you could actually talk to one of those reps and get the answers that you need for your account. Again, that goes back to that personalized approach. With our account management strategy, you will be seeing communications that, you know, kind of broad communications to our small business account managers, and then more targeted depending on the usage or demand that you have. And in some instances, you could get an account manager. We could assign you an account manager who will write up an account plan for you, i.e., you know, taking a look at your, sure, I can give that to you. Yep. Hi, Leslie. Thank you. That could be assigned to you, and that account manager would set up a regular cadence of meetings with you, would keep you proactively informed of any products or services that could help you achieve your business goals. Or, for example, you know, if you are a business, say, where there's some critical care issues, or, you know, people and health and life and safety issues, you know, we could make proactive phone calls to you in the instances, say, where the energy or electric goes out, and we want to make sure, you know, that you know what's going on in a very personalized way. Much different than what we've done before, where a lot of our small business customers would just have to call into the 800 number. Very effective, but wouldn't you like to have somebody call you? And again, we can't do this for everyone, but certainly for those where there are critical issues, knowing that you have us at your fingertips, that could be available to you. And with regard to the communications, again, when we have new products, and every day we're developing new products and new services at PECO. That goes back to that innovation. Letting you know what's coming up, what could benefit you, how will it benefit you, and how we can get you involved is something else that we will be able to do. The other part of it is not, I'll say, not official, but I'll say as we begin to flesh out this strategy and some of the other customer experience strategies, is engaging with you as a business. What does that look like? Well, if you can just imagine, as we're reaching out to some of our other customer segments and we can use the business to help us achieve those goals, i.e., invest a little bit in your business. Say, for instance, we're looking to do a community event. If we could work with you, for, promotional type things or any of those things, we could engage with you, and we will engage with you and say, hey, we're going to be in the community doing this. Would you like to join us? What can you bring to the table? So those types of things. Yes, and I will absolutely get you that 800 number. Let's see, what else would I like to share with you? Let's go to the next slide now, we can. Okay, so this is a slide. We talk about your business and your residents. One of the things I'd like to point out that we found, particularly with our small business customers, is that many of those small business customers actually live in our PECO territory, and they actually use PECO for their residents. So I thought it was important to mention to you, we have something called the Marketplace. You can log into the Marketplace on our PECO website and purchase thermostats, light bulbs in bulk, all kinds of products that are energy efficient that you can use in your business and you can use in your home. So when you think about if you have a small office and maybe you don't need 100 light bulbs, maybe you need 10, you could purchase them. If there's a thermostat, you could purchase something like that for your business as well. So we'd like you to be considering how you can use this, because if you remember at the beginning, I said we found that a lot of our small businesses, not all of them, but some of our small businesses have similar needs to large commercial accounts, and they have similar needs to residential accounts. So in this way, you could take advantage of both. Now, I'd like to pause here. Is there any way to get any questions from some of our guests or members?
Yes, so if anyone has a question, if you would like to raise your hand, we can turn your mic on so that you can ask your question. And Mary, for the links for these programs and the numbers, if you email them to us, we can share them with everyone that was present today.
Great. And you also, my email was also in the intro. We can share that again. You're welcome to contact me as well. So, okay, so we had a question about do we have someone verbally?
Not verbally, but there's a question that was just dropped in the chat. Did you want me to read that for you?
Oh, I can see it. What other marketplace items other than light bulbs have we found people have purchased? So we're actually just about to launch phase 2 of this, where there are other products that are available, mainly lighting, mainly thermostats. But we also found once our customers are on the website, they begin to look for other things that are available as well. So for example, we often put information in there about rebates that are available from the state, whether it's around your, and again, they're not always available, but sometimes you'll find rebates for hot water heaters. And again, in a smaller business, we tend to find more residentially based products there. So let me talk about that. So, rebates for that. There may be rebates for, okay, I see that question too. Yep. Rebates for hot water heaters, for energy efficient appliances, for example, right? You know, small business, whether again, a small business, you might be operating it from your home. You could take advantage of some of that, whether it's from the residential portal or from the small commercial portal as well, where you could get rebates there. Let's see, how would this work with both? Okay, we're operating two separate businesses in the home. Well, anyone can go onto the website for the marketplace. So anyone can buy from there. So I mean, I would definitely go check it out and see what's there on the, you know, on that front, but also you could consider, you know, some of the bigger items or rebates that are offered throughout, you know, various seasons on the website. For our larger businesses, we actually have a commercial incentive energy efficiency program where there you can get into things like, excuse me, bigger HVAC systems. Sure, bigger HVAC systems, controls on lighting, hot water measures when you think about a commercial kitchen, refrigeration methods when you think about, you know, the case lighting that you might find like in a deli or in a you know, small grocery store. We've done quite a few of those. If you have a restaurant, lots of options there. So there's really, I mean, I could not name all of the measures that are available, but again, we can help you figure out what's the best path for you, depending on if you have a home business or if you have a smaller facility or a larger facility, all under a small commercial. I think we can figure out something that would work for you. Absolutely. Sure. I'm gonna so that I don't have to go back to the, I might lose you if I go to the website, but we'll absolutely provide that to the chamber to share with all of you. So what other questions could we answer for you?
So Mary, I have a question.
Sure.
So I heard you talk about some of the home solutions for residential, and I'm working from home, been here for a year since COVID. And I always get this nice little mailer from PECO that says, I use more energy than most of my neighbors. And it is like by this much, right? Like it's by a lot. And I'm like, now I cannot be the only person working from home with the air conditioner on, with the lights on. What are some of the things that I can do to get me a little bit more on par and get that $200 bill down to 100 at least? What would you suggest?
Well, first of all, let me first say I agree with you, because when I get that mailer, I get so angry. I'm like, there is no way I could be using more than my neighbors, right? But there are a couple of things you can do. And we actually, and you'll see more, and I'm glad you guys mentioned this. I'm glad you mentioned this because we have to be a little more bold for our business customers and sometimes with the messaging, right? So we do seasonal tips to save energy. And I will tell you, they actually work because I tried it. So for example, and I can get you the list for both, you know, both going into winter and then going into summer. So I'll say for summer, one thing that really works is closing your blinds, believe it or not, from the sun. I tried that once. My house felt like I was like, you know, in a refrigerated, you know, space, like a freezer. It was so cold in the summer because I simply closed the blinds, and with the air conditioning running, you know, a couple of days when we had that really bad heat storm, it really saved me having to, you know, keep jacking up that air conditioning. So that is one way, but we have a whole list of things. Don't forget, in the wintertime, you can wear a sweater in the house. I know we don't like to do that, but sometimes we need to do that. Or in the winter, we keep the windows open during the daytime, right, to get more sun into the house. So there are things like that. And there's also other opportunities for, oh, we're a fan, Pat, we're a fan. You know, for we can do a deeper dive into your residence as well. We have folks who can do that. So if you need, you know, better insulation in your home, blown insulation, they can do that. They can recommend that as well. And I believe, actually, I did it, participated in this. They did it virtually, although I think they can do it live now, you know, using safe COVID techniques. But literally walked through my home and found all the different ways that I could save money, whether it was blown insulation, whether it was, and these are things that are, we're not talking about window replacement because that's a huge investment with a long payback, right? We want things that we can do that are relatively inexpensive and can still be impactful um, without breaking the bank. So, extra insulation. They found all the different areas in my garage and my attic, um, places like that, to put additional insulation in the home.
Oh, that's
Uh,
great. Thank you.
Absolutely. I hate seeing that notice. I mean, I'm glad to see it, but it makes me so mad because I don't want to be the one using the most energy in the community. Anyone else? Oh, so Casey, is it? Says that she closes all of her curtains and blinds in the summer. That it really does have a big impact. On the mobile app, are the tips available on the mobile app? Um, I haven't recently seen any tips on the mobile app, although sometimes there might be like alerts on there, but I'm going to take that back because I suggest that as well, that PECO, we do that a little more often where we can put those tips out. And most importantly, seasonally send a direct message to our small business customers, however they would like to receive it, whether it's on the app or whether it's in the mail, where you can know upfront before we get in the season, what you can do to save on your electricity bill. Oh, there are other things, and we all remember those little energy strips that you plug into and it saves you. They are so much better today than they were, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and they actually work. I use quite a bit of those, and those are one of the other measures that we can probably get on the marketplace and definitely get through the small business energy efficiency program. And your big items that use a lot of energy, like your televisions, your computers and monitors, things like that. They have, like, I have one that I have that if I'm not, if the TV's on and the cable box and the DVR and everything that's connected to it, and I step away from the TV for some period of time, it has a sensor and it automatically turns off. So, if you have family members who do that all the time, well, that TV's running and running and running and nobody's watching it, it'll automatically turn it off once it senses no one's watching it. I don't know how it does it, but it does, and it works.
Mary, we have a question in the Q&A
Sure.
from Zane Booker. Wants to know, do you offer any guidance to solar energy options?
Absolutely. And thank you for that nice lead in. We actually do. And it might seem odd. Oh, we're an energy company, we're selling electricity, we're providing electricity. Why would we be looking at solar, taking energy off the grid? Well, we are. We actually have a whole department that is growing bigger and bigger around solar and also electric vehicle charging stations. So with the solar, we actually work with local solar developers. We can work with you. You can call in and get sort of an assessment. Is it possible to do it in your location, whether again, it's for your business or for your home, and connect you with a solar developer. We'll probably give you like 2 or 3 choices because we're not going to direct you to any one, but we'll say, hey, we've worked with these folks, or these are the ones who serve your area, or whatever it is, and kind of give you an assessment of what that might mean for you. We do that all day long, every single day. So we could definitely do that. The other thing that we can do is with the electric vehicle charging stations. A lot of people, well, 2 things. So again, let's look at, if you're a residential customer and you wanted to put one in your home, we could assist with that. If you're a commercial customer, and we're not there 100% yet, but we've done it already and we're talking to people. But some of our commercial customers who have a certain amount of land on their business, right, have said, what, is it possible for me to install electric vehicle charging stations on my land? Now you want to talk to the experts around that, but that is also something. So getting our customers, both residential and commercial, into these alternative energy opportunities is something that we also do as well. And we have experts who can talk to you, and you're welcome to just reach directly out to me, and I'll get you in touch with the person you need to talk to around that. But we can absolutely do that. Now, someone asked the question, is there any truth behind savings that keeping things running versus constantly? I'm not an engineer, so I don't want to answer that question directly. But I have heard that as well. I think you're referencing the idea that as you switch things on and off, there's like a little bit of surge that I would say, obviously, when we were talking about keeping the blinds closed, if you kept the blinds closed and your air conditioning is running, maybe you'll see some cooling over time in the space, that you don't have to keep kind of jacking up you know, or taking the temperature down. It may maintain the temperature a little bit more, I think. But I can certainly, if you want to reach out to me, I'll get you an official answer from an engineer. One of the other things that we can do, both in our business and our home, are the controls. Certainly in a business, there are very, very sophisticated controls. I know even at PECO, like when you walk into a space in our main office building, it senses when somebody walks in. The controls are such, and we've seen these in where you have a lot of space in a commercial facility, where the lights will turn off in the spaces where no one's sitting, and the lights will turn on in the space where someone is sitting. And also bathrooms, think about that in a business, right? The lights only need to be on when someone's in the bathroom. They don't necessarily need to be on when someone's not in the bathroom. We have controls that help to control that. That could be a money saver. The nice thing is you can actually do that at home as well. So lots of these tools and these measures can cross over, particularly for our folks who have small businesses at home.
Mary, there's another question. If I'm a business and I have employees who work from home, how can we connect with PECO to get them to share these energy saving measures with our employees who are working from home?
So that's a really great question. That's a really great question. We could do something like this. We could do a lunch hour, half an hour, you know, little mini seminar for you. We could put together digital packages for you that you can share, and maybe at some point, maybe make them very interactive. We can do a lot of things. I mean, we have all the materials, we have all the links. We could absolutely put together a little package for you that you can share with your employees, with live links to some of these things. Absolutely, we can do that for you. All you need to do is reach out to me.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'm gonna put your information back up on the screen for anyone who would like to copy it down.
Absolutely.
And I think we have, I'm sorry, there's another question in the Q&A portion.
Sure.
Are there any collaborations with schools that are virtual? I'm asking because my daughter is doing virtual schooling right now.
Okay, so the question is about collaborations with virtual classrooms.
Yeah, the PECO has any partnerships with schools that are offering virtual learning? This question is from Leslie.
Absolutely, Leslie. In fact, there's so many departments doing different things. So it just depends on what you are looking for. I'll just give you an example. I just participated in, it was our workforce development team. They were hosting a school on a series of like mini workshops. I'll call them workshops. And I participated in one. We designed a workshop called the brand called You for teenagers. And we went in, we did a virtual on-site, virtual workshop for them. We can design it with the parameters that you're looking for, and we can add in so many pieces. I mean, we have folks who are experts in STEM. If you want to talk about, some other energy related activity, we can absolutely do that. All you need to do is really ask, and we will make it happen. And we do it already, but sometimes we don't always get to all the places we need to get to, but we could absolutely do something.
I think that was all of the questions from the Q&A and from the chat, and I'll put your information up on the screen and also dropped it in the chat again for anyone who missed it.
Wonderful. Okay, well, if that is, I mean, there's so much more we could share with you, and I really look forward. I hope each of you will reach out to me. I'm more than happy to answer any questions and get you, um, you know, get you some tools that'll help you. We are, as I said at the very beginning of this conversation, now is a perfect time because PECO and Exelon overall is deeply committed to our small business customers, and they have you know invested in expanding teams so that we could answer the needs and the questions of those customers, of all of you, and we're more than happy to do it. More than happy to.
Mary, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you again for these wonderful tips. I can tell you, I am super excited about having my PECO bill lowered. So you will be hearing from me. The African American Chamber of Commerce, we are so grateful for our partnership with PECO. And I can really say that PECO has a deep commitment to the African American business community. And we look forward to even strengthening that partnership. So with that, we are excited about our part 2 of Power Up with PECO series taking place next Friday at 10 a.m. Next week, we will have a presenter who will bring you information on how to do business with PECO. If you ever wondered how your business can be considered for contract opportunities, make sure you register for next week's session. If you haven't registered yet, the link will be included in today's follow-up email and again in our weekly newsletter tomorrow. And for all of you who are not yet members, if you like this programming and you want to enjoy more of it, we do have chamber member specific events such as the Influencers Breakfast with PECO coming at the end of the month. You don't want to miss that. So make sure you go to our website, aachamber.com, and join today. We look forward to seeing you on next week. Again, Mary, thank you for all the wonderful tips. I'm sure you will be hearing from a lot of us, and we look forward to just a continued partnership, and we look forward to having you all again as our guest on next week. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you, Regina and team.